We've got additional rounds of locally heavy rains on the way to central and eastern Kentucky. We'll walk you through the all-important weekend forecast coming up.
Should Kim Davis be required to issue marriage licenses? The new WKYT Herald Leader Bluegrass Poll finds out what Kentuckians think and whether the debate over gay marriage will impact the governor's race.
A WKYT exclusive, how a former gang member is using his experiences to keep young people in central Kentucky out of gangs.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Good evening to you. Tonight we are learning more about a deadly mass shooting at a college campus in Oregon. Investigators now say 13 people are dead, including the gunman.
This happened a little more than 4 hours ago on the campus of Umpqua Community College in Roseburg, Oregon. That's south of Portland. A student says the gunman shot her teacher in a classroom, then asked others in the room about their religion before spraying more bullets. Police say at least 20 other people were injured in the shooting. We do not know much about the shooter, but Oregon's governor released some information just a short while ago.
Our top priority now is the medical treatment for victims and the security of the campus. We have confirmation that the shooter is deceased. He is a 20-year-old male.
Police say they exchanged gunfire with that shooter, but they don't know if they killed him or if he took his own life. Keep checking WKYT.com for updates, and the CBS Evening News with Scott Pelley will have the very latest coming up shortly at 6:30. And now to the weather. We're tracking another round of rain across much of Kentucky tonight.
And it looks like the threat of rain will continue into our weekend. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey shows us what's on the First Alert Defender right now. Chris?
Yeah, we've had those on and off rains all day. You know, guys, it's a day that started out with greater than a half inch this morning into parts of central Kentucky. We had some very heavy rains early in the day. This afternoon, this view has been very, very familiar to folks across central and eastern Kentucky. A lot of clouds out there. Showers still trying to pick back up, not like the big widespread rains we had a couple of days ago. Though nonetheless, we're getting in on some of these gusty rains across parts of eastern Kentucky on and off throughout the day. Now look what's happening here in the parts of Madison County, Richmond, Berea, over toward Lancaster into Garrett County, Danville and Stanford. Kind of been a favorite corridor over the past few days for some of those rains, and we're starting to pick up that action yet again. Even a raindrop or two in the far southern parts of Fayette County. Eastbound on 64, not a whole lot of rains, though. A little greater coverage into southern and southeastern Kentucky. We're watching Tennessee. What develops here will lift on into town later tonight and certainly into the day tomorrow. Big area of low pressure developing across the East Coast. That is a Category 4 powerhouse of a hurricane. That is Joaquin down into the Bahamas as of now. It's a very slow mover, and as we go through the next few days, the track on that continues to shift a little farther to the east. So we will have to wait and see exactly where that goes over the next 3 or 4 days. Regardless of what happens with our hurricane, guys, our rain across Kentucky over the next few days will continue to come at us against the grain. It's back to that east to west corridor that we had last Friday. I'll show you why that may wash out a few plans over the next few days with a new hour-by-hour forecast just minutes from now.
Chris, thank you. Tonight, investigators think wet roads played a role in a crash that killed 2 people in Magoffin County. It happened this afternoon on the Mountain Parkway not far from the Morgan County line. Investigators say the driver of a car lost control, causing the car to spin around. They say a second car then T-boned it. Investigators say both women in the first car were killed. Their names have not been released. They say 2 people in the second car were taken to the hospital.
New tonight, investigators have identified a man's body found in the freezer of a Pulaski County home. The Pulaski County coroner tells us the man was 68-year-old Gary Jenks, who had been reported missing. But investigators still don't know what caused his death. They're waiting for an autopsy result, which could take a week. Police say that Jenks lived in the home with his girlfriend, Teresa Owens. Police charged her with evidence tampering and abuse of a corpse. Tonight, friends of a Bath County teenager killed in a crash will gather to remember him. 15-year-old Waylon Doherty died last week when police say the car he was riding in crashed into a tractor trailer. Our Garrett Weimer tells us what the teenager's friends have planned before tonight's football game at Bath County High School.
It's been a rough couple of weeks for students and faculty here at Bath County High School after 2 crashes in just 6 days' time that killed one student and left another in the hospital, at this time still fighting for his life. Now those here try to heal as they also reach out to support the family members of those students. Tonight, another attempt at normalcy. The Bath County Wildcats host West Carter on the football field. But before the game, folks are expected to gather on the field and circle up in prayer and release balloons. It's in memory of Waylon Doherty, who died in a crash nearly a week ago, and to honor his family. That tribute is expected to take place before the game here, and then West Carter takes on Bath County at 7:30. At Bath County High School, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
And the Bath County High School class of 2018 is also sponsoring a benefit and auction for the Doherty family. It's October 9th from 4 to 7 at the Owensville First Church of God.
3 months ago, Kim Davis was a relatively unknown county clerk. Her stand to not issue marriage licenses landed her in jail and in the national spotlight. Now, a new WKYT Herald Leader Bluegrass Poll lets Kentuckians weigh in on the Davis debate. New at 6, WKYT political editor Bill Bryant has the results.
Good evening. She is the Kentucky County Clerk who made headlines around the world. Kim Davis's refusal to issue marriage licenses even got the attention of Pope Francis last week. Davis stopped issuing marriage licenses after June's U.S. Supreme Court same-sex marriage ruling, saying to do so would violate her religious freedom. Couples sued, and when she refused a federal judge's order to issue marriage licenses, the judge jailed her. The Bluegrass Poll found the majority, 51% of likely voters across the state agree Davis should be required to issue marriage licenses. 42% think she should not be required to do so. The remaining 7% were not sure.
Yeah, I was frankly surprised by these numbers, given Kentucky's socially conservative streak. Now, it's not where we are nationally. The Washington Post polled this and showed that 63% of voters think that Kim Davis should issue marriage license. But considering how conservative we can be here in Kentucky, I was really surprised that more than half of voters think she should issue the licenses.
The debate over same-sex marriage and Kim Davis's actions are spilling over into the governor's race. Republican Matt Bevin disagrees with the ruling. Democrat Jack Conway, who leads the latest Bluegrass poll, agrees with it. Kentuckians are divided. 25% say Conway's pro-gay marriage stance makes them much more likely to vote for him. 27% say they are much more likely to vote for Bevin. An additional 27% say what Conway and Bevin think about gay marriage does not affect their vote. Survey USA talked to 1,000 people across Kentucky for the Bluegrass Poll. It was conducted for WKYT, the Herald Leader, and our partners in Louisville. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
For more on the Bluegrass Poll and interactive results broken down by various demographics, just go to WKYT.com.
Who better to talk straight with kids about the dangers of being in a gang than a former gang member who was shot up and put in prison? Well, you're about to meet him. Tonight, an exclusive look at a program here in Fayette County that doesn't attract a lot of attention, except with the people who really benefit, the young students.
One of my friends is dead from one bullet. Why am I here? And then as up to about 2 years ago, I started noticing that this is why God saved me.
Logan Averett lived the life of a gang member.
We're in a generation where the kids believe in order to be a man in the inner cities, you have to be a gangster, you have to be a thug, you have to have a Mercedes-Benz on 26s, you got to have all the latest Jordans.
The former Crips gang member from Portland, Oregon, counts 5 bullet wounds and did 10 years in prison. Plenty of time to reconsider his life and begin creating a program to help kids steer clear of gangs.
Most of the guys that lived that life and got them materialistic things that came with it, when they died, they didn't take it with them in the casket. When they're doing life in the penitentiary, they can't call home to get nobody to send them $5. So we bring reality to them because that's what these kids need is reality. They need somebody that they can talk to every day.
After prison, Averett relocated to Lexington where he had family and met Quincy Murdoch, a former UK football player who has a master's degree in social work. Together, they run a school-based gang intervention program called MADE, or Motivated All Day, Every Day. Weekly group therapy sessions that offer an alternative to gang life.
It gives you, in lack of a better word, a backbone. It gives you something to stand up right and know that you're a man, you have other options. I think a lot of the youth in our community, they don't have other options, or they don't see that they have other options.
The anti-gang program is aimed at middle school students in Fayette County, but includes high schoolers. Murdoch and Averett say boys who join gangs have a great need for belonging at about age 13. Join a gang within 6 months and have a criminal record by 14.
This is my friend Pud. This is my brother, cousin, Jeffrey.
Antonio Waite, a member of the MAID program, keeps pictures of loved ones close by who died violently.
You should follow your own path. You should push. Like MAID done for me, it showed me another path. It's really, I don't even know. I'm getting emotional right now. Hold on, I'm sorry. Hold on.
I understand how it feels, because just to see that, it makes me want to push. And like, bro, I'm gonna tell you, bro, you got strength, bro.
It hurts.
Boys in the program meet once a week on gang and violence prevention and positive behavior.
It saved my life because I was troubled, and it taught me to, why are you doing this? You could be doing this. It showed me that I can be from this and then be so much better than what I was. So I took that opportunity and I really ran with it. I'm still running with it. I'm only 19 years old. I can't stop now.
Averett and Murdoch invited us to sit in on a discussion with MAID students at Bryan Station High School, one of 9 schools involved with the MAID program. The principal of Bryan Station High welcomes the help.
Building that support around it, there's something bigger than just these things. There's something more to life. That's what it's about.
We appreciate it. That's what we wanted to
Well, I told you the first day I met you, I had your back.
We had it back. Yes, you did. Yeah.
All these MAID students have plans for job interviews, careers, and college.
For me, what MAID has done is given me strength and hope through them. Seeing JD accomplish what he's accomplished, seeing him graduate, seeing my man knowing that he's struggling, but he's still pushing, knowing that he's been pushing despite losing friends and loved ones.
Every day when I go home and I lay down at night, I think, wow, if I would have had somebody like myself, if I'd have had somebody like Mr. Murdoch in my corner, like Mr. Gatewood, that was a smiling face when I was coming up, but I didn't have a lot of that. And these kids are growing up in that generation where they don't.
You may be wondering how they get into the program. Counselors and teachers at 9 Fayette County middle and high schools help find the students who need the MAID program. Right now it includes about 150 boys, and Averett and Murdoch have seen a need to include the girls as well.
A Luke Bryan concert scheduled in Lexington tonight had to be postponed. Hear from the country star about that decision next.